Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Cone back here again today with another video, and today I'm going to be breaking down the bracket and making my official predictions for the NBA's first ever in-season tournament. I've become a big fan of the tourney throughout the early goings. I thought the group play stage was a lot of fun. I like the unique courts. I like this trophy at the center of it all. I like that there were designated group play nights so you knew exactly when it was happening, and it made it feel like more of an event, and some of the best basketball we've seen all season was played in those in-season tournament games. It also seems like the players are really enjoying it, or at the very least taking it seriously. Guys are making comments like, yeah, we want to win this thing. They were running up the point differential in matchups to try and give them the best opportunity to make this quarterfinal stage. It's been a lot of fun, and now we're down to 8 teams that are going to play games over the next week or so to crown the first ever in-season tournament champion. Those games and teams are the Kings versus the Pelicans, Lakers versus the Suns, the Pacers versus the Celtics, and the Bucks versus the Knicks. So I'm going to go through, make predictions for all of these games. Of course, the semifinals and finals being played in Las Vegas. Being a neutral site makes things interesting, as well as the nature of the tournament, which is single elimination, that I think opens it up way more to upsets than we've seen at all with the NBA's current playoff format. So I'm really excited about this. Let's go ahead and get into it. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. And of course, I want to hear who you have as your in-season tournament champion down below in the comments. First game we've got is Sacramento versus New Orleans, a matchup of the 2 and the 3 seed in the Western Conference. So far, these teams have played twice throughout the season, with the Pelicans winning both times. Now, those games were both played in New Orleans, and this one's going to be in Sacramento, so I'm not buying into them too much, but I think it is a decent sign for Pelicans fans, especially because they've gotten a bit healthier since those games are being played. The only guys out for them at this point are Matt Ryan and Larry Nance Jr. They've gotten Trey Murphy III back, Jose Alvarado. This is the healthiest the Pelicans have looked in quite some time, and Zion has been on an absolute mission as of late. But at the same time, for the Kings, they are really good at home. We see what that atmosphere can get like when they play in high leverage games like we saw in the playoffs last year. I think this is going to be a similar hostile environment. They've won 3 of their last 4 games, including wins over the Timberwolves, the Warriors, and the Nuggets. Some pretty good competition, and Fox is playing like one of the best players in the world right now, just winning Western Conference Player of the Week. So there's pluses on both sides, but ultimately with them playing at home, I'm going to slightly lean the Sacramento Kings. This is one I think could really go either way. If Zion went off and the Pelicans got this win, wouldn't be surprised whatsoever, but because they're just getting healthy, so they're still trying to figure out how this roster is going to mesh together, I'm going to go with the consistency of the Sacramento Kings, the way De'Aaron Fox is playing right now, and I'm going to have them advancing to Las Vegas. In the second quarterfinal matchup, we've got the Lakers versus the Suns, a matchup that the NBA is probably very excited that they're seeing. LeBron versus Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Anthony Davis, 2 teams that I expect will both be Western Conference playoff teams. The Lakers are the 1 seed going undefeated in group play, with the Suns making it in as the wild card. But if you ask me right now, the Suns are the better team. However, the Lakers are at home, where they've been very good. Although, then again, coming back at them, the Suns have been one of the best road teams in the entire league so far. So there's pros and cons on both sides, but ultimately, I think I am going to go with the Phoenix Suns just because Devin Booker and Kevin Durant have looked like the best duo in the league so far, and the Lakers are still dealing with some injuries. They've gotten healthier, but similar to what I was saying with the Pelicans, that means that they're still building cohesion. Now, the Suns have been without Bradley Beal, but even without Bradley Beal playing, they've been pretty consistently good. Like I said, Book and KD have both looked like MVP guys. Well, the Lakers have some nights where they look like world beaters and some nights where they get destroyed by like 40 points. So I'm just going to go with the consistency of the Phoenix Suns. I think they're a bit more well-rounded. If the Lakers aren't getting any offense, they look like one of the worst teams in the league. So I'm going to ride with Phoenix to go to Vegas and face off against the Sacramento Kings, a matchup that I think would be very, very fun. I don't know which way I want to go. The Kings have been a very popular pick from what I've seen on Twitter so far today. A lot of people are picking them to not just make the finals, make it out of this Western Conference bracket, but win the finals as a whole. And I see why. It feels like a tournament where offense could be really important, like when De'Aaron Fox has been on the court, even though the offense as a whole has been up and down so far this season. When Fox is out there, they look like one of the best offensive teams in the league. They've got shooters, and playing in a neutral environment, it feels like a place where the Kings could really thrive. But I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the experience here of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. I'm going to pick them to go ahead and be the Sacramento Kings, advance to the finals. I think they're just the best 2 players in that game. As much as I love Fox and Sabonis, I trust the Phoenix Suns a little bit more at this juncture. This is a game that I really hope we see because I think it'd be a classic, but I am going to lean Phoenix taking this one and moving on to the championship. Moving on now, we've got Indiana versus Boston, one of my most anticipated matchups of the entire first round. You might not think so if you take a look at the last time they played, the Celtics won by like 50 points, but that was the game without Tyrese Halliburton, and it was very early on in the season. Now, the Pacers have kind of found their rhythm. Halliburton is playing some of the best basketball in the world, and they come into this one at home, going undefeated in the group stage, facing a Boston team without Kristaps Porzingis. He's a big loss for this team. The offense looks a lot worse when Kristaps isn't out there, and this is probably going to be a game that's like a race to 130 points with the way the Pacers play. Every game looks like an all-star game, and in this tournament, where I think offense is going to be pretty important and I expect a lot of chaos, I'm going to pick the Indiana Pacers. The Celtics are the best team in the league. They're probably the favorites to win this tournament, but I think we see an upset in the first round in terms of the teams. Obviously, the Pacers are the higher seed, but if you're taking a look at the teams objectively, the Celtics are the better squad, but I'm going to take Indiana to go ahead and win this one, assuming Tyrese does play. He's currently questionable with an illness, but I would expect him to play with this being a tournament quarterfinal game, so I think Tyrese plays, he puts on a great performance, and the Pacers offense is able to beat the Celtics, getting revenge for that massive blowout loss, and they move on to Vegas. Joining them will be the winner of the Milwaukee Bucks and the New York Knicks, a game that I've continuously gone back and forth on. Both teams are supposed to be relatively healthy. They played once this season where the Bucks won 110-105 in their first in-season tournament matchup. The Bucks went undefeated in their group, getting the 1 seed, and the Knicks managed to squeak in as the wild card, with their only loss being to Milwaukee. The Bucks are the better team, it looks like, but at the same time, I consistently get concerned about the way they win games. This is something I talked about a lot about in my Bucks video. If you want to hear more about it, go check that out. But basically, they will consistently go down big heading into the fourth quarter and then get huge clutch time heroics from Giannis and Dame and find a way to get wins. Like, they are great in those clutch time moments. They're great at home. So they should probably find a way to win this game. But because of some of their inconsistencies and the way that Jalen Brunson's been playing recently, how great Julius Randle has been, I'm going to take the New York Knicks to go ahead and pull off the upset as well. This doesn't feel like a great pick, in my opinion, the more that I think about it, but I want to pick some upsets here. I think chaos is very likely. Having the best two teams in the Eastern Conference on this side of the bracket going out in the first round probably isn't smart, but I'm going to take the Knicks to go ahead and get it done. I like their size as well to slow Giannis a bit down. Dame's been kind of picking up the steam, so him facing off against those guards is going to be a big-time matchup and a key moment for them. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Knicks. I think their defense goes ahead and slows the Bucks offense down enough to send them to Vegas to play the Indiana Pacers. A really fun matchup where it's offense versus defense. And like I said earlier, I think offense might reign supreme in a lot of these games in the neutral zone in Vegas. We saw a lot in the bubble that offense kind of was the trump card in a lot of situations. I think, again, we see a similar situation. And again, with the way Tyrese has been playing, how fun that offense is, I'm going to say the Pacers get it done again. They're another team that's a really popular pick to make a Cinderella run and make it to this championship. I'm going to go ahead and buy on them. I'm going to say the Pacers win the semifinal to face the Phoenix Suns in the championship. Probably an unlikely outcome, but one that I think would be so much fun to watch. And so here we are in the finals. Phoenix versus Indiana, a battle of two really fun offenses. The defense isn't great. Who's going to win this one? I want to pick Indiana because they are the fun team. Seeing Tyrese and those young guys raise the trophy, I think would be amazing. To me, the in-season tournament feels like a chance for these young teams to announce their presence to the world, say, hey, you've got to take us seriously, and the Pacers have a chance to do so. But at the same time, I don't know how they slow down Kevin Durant and Devin Booker enough to go ahead and get themselves the win. Those guys are probably going to torch them. The Pacers have a lot of problems with those bigger fours, like a guy like Kevin Durant, who's a near 7-footer. I think they're going to have some problems. So as fun as the Pacers are, as fun as their run to this point has been, I am going to pick the Phoenix Suns, kind of a boring pick, I guess, in light of all these other options to win the championship. Although they were the 4 seed, so I guess if you want to go off seeding, they were one of the underdogs to win this tournament. But I'm going to pick Phoenix to go ahead and win in Vegas. Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, the rest of those guys raise the trophy. We'll see if they get Bradley Beal at any point back during this tournament, but I wouldn't expect them to. I don't think he's going to show up for a little while. But yeah, the Suns go ahead and get this thing done, beating the Indiana Pacers, a game that I could see go either way. Really not a single one of these matchups that I feel super confident in picking, but this is what I'm going to go ahead and go with. Phoenix Suns raise the trophy. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments. Like I said earlier, I'm super excited for this. I love the way that this is set up. I like that there's the neutral site. I like that there's designated days where it's only going to be the in-season tournament games to make it feel like a more important thing. And I just like the field of teams that's involved in this a lot. You talk about so many fun young teams, teams that are experienced. There's a good mix of those between the Lakers and the Suns on one side. You've got like a battle between the Pelicans and the Kings on the other side, like a really fun young matchup. You have this young Pacers team trying to make a name for themselves, the Celtics trying to show what they're made of. There's just a bunch of really exciting narratives all over the place. Pacers Kings is one of the most popular picks that I'm seeing, and that would be really fun if we get to see like Sabonis and Tyrese face off after the trade that they made, the Kings and Pacers, a couple of years ago. A lot of fun potential storylines. Let me know what your finals matchup is and who your winner is, but for me, it's gonna be the Phoenix Suns. But yeah, appreciate y'all watching as always. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Yeah, I'll see y'all later. We'll see how well these takes age. There's a good chance that this bracket falls apart after night one. Literally first game if the Celtics win, my bracket is completely busted, but I'm going to go ahead and be bold. I appreciate y'all watching. I'll see y'all later. Peace.